Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV. As always, thank you for tuning in. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, or you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, but you like the content that we're putting out, definitely hit that subscribe button. So the first test is only a few days away. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the bowling lineup, going over a few different bowling lineup options, and also giving you the viewers and subscribers an opportunity to kind of select the bowlers that you would go with in this first match. So the question that I want you to answer in the comment section as the viewers and subscribers is, what bowlers would you go with for these first few matches of this test series versus England, right? And as usual, I'll be sharing a few things and then definitely giving you my bowling lineup as well. I've already looked at the batters up to number 5. So if you haven't seen that video, then you can check out that video as well. But in this video, we'll be focusing on the bowlers, right? So I'll start by saying that in that warm-up match, the bowling it definitely wasn't potent, right? They struggled to get wickets. They were only able to get 4 wickets in that first innings. The team actually made 393 for 4 declared. So the bowlers struggled to get wickets in that first match, and then in the second innings, they only lost 2 wickets before close of play. So the bowling lacked a bit of potency in that first, right? So we definitely need to improve going up against England, an England team with batters that are of a higher quality than they came up against in that warm-up match. Normally in a warm-up match, you expect, or you would like to see the team, taking wickets, seeing that they're coming up against weaker opponents. But that was not so in this warm-up match. So the bowling, I would say, is a bit of a cause for concern. But with that being said, also aware that 2 of our best bowlers in Shamar Joseph and Gudakesh Moti did not play in that match. Both of whom are impact players, both of whom can take wickets. So that I guess that is something that we can look forward to in the test series, right? That Shamar Joseph will be, or should be there, and should be available. More than likely he will be picked. So, but the bowling left a lot to be desired, pretty much, right? So looking at the bowling, right? When you think about our bowlers that are there, right away, you Shamar Joseph, and I would say Alzarri Joseph. Those are our bowlers that I would say are definitely sure picks, for these matches, for the West Indies. They are our fastest bowlers. And I would say they are also our most impactful bowlers as well, right? Shamar Joseph, him bursting on the scene, we saw what he did in Australia. And Alzarri Joseph, over the years, he has proven himself in all formats of the game for West Indies, that he is a genuine wicket taker and he can impact the game in any format, right? So I would say Shamar Joseph and Alzarri Joseph are definitely sure picks, for these test matches. But then it's when it comes to the other bowlers now, the remainder of the bowling lineup, that the questions arise, right? And when thinking about it, I thought about a few things, right? What type of bowling lineup would they go with, or do you want to go with, right? So obviously we have pacers and we have a few spinners as well. So I thought about whether or not they would want to go with an all-pace bowling lineup, right? Which personally, or I would not, and I don't think that's what the coaching staff will do either, right? So the options were either to go with an all-pace bowling lineup or go with a mixture of pace and spin. And I think that's the more sensible option to use, in these first matches, especially the first match playing at Lords, right? To go with a mixture of pace and spin. Now, as it relates to the spinners, how many spinners they use, that's also a question as well. Do you want to go with both the spinners that are in the team, which are Kevin Sinclair and Gudakesh Moti, or just go with one specialist spinner? And if they are only going with just the single spinner, which of those spinners, Kevin Sinclair or Gudakesh Moti, who would you pick, right? I already did a video saying that I would go with Kevin Sinclair, but after watching the warm up match, I actually had a change of mind, and as the spinner in the team, I would definitely go for Gudakesh Moti instead, right? I did say I would pick Kevin Sinclair due to his batting ability as well, his batting capability, and that he would provide the team with a bit of batting help as well, along with his bowling. But after watching that warm up match, I think the team needs a Gudakesh Moti and his wicket taking ability in there to have an impact in the bowling department, as opposed to having a Kevin Sinclair who himself is a good bowler, but he's not as good as Gudakesh Moti at the moment. Gudakesh Moti is more of a wicket taking threat. Gudakesh Moti can also be economical and yeah, just take wickets. So I would go with Gudakesh Moti as my spinner for this match, at least the first match, or maybe the first few matches, as it relates to the fast bowlers now. So, like I said, I would go with a combination of pace and spin. Playing Gudakesh Moti as the spinner. In terms of the fast bowlers now, I've already stated that it would be Alzarri Joseph or Shamar Joseph. Then the other fast bowlers that would have to choose from would be a Jaden Seals, a Jeremiah Louis, and a Jason Holder, right? I am going to say Jaden Seals also. So I would pick Jaden Seals in my lineup as well. I must say Jeremiah Louis, he did take wickets in the warm-up match. And he bowled well in the warm-up match, I must say, right? But at least for this first match, I would pick Jaden Seals. Some might argue and say it's favoritism or whatever, but it's really not. Jaden Seals, he's proven himself in English conditions in the county in the English championship, right? He was there, he was the leading wicket taker in his division. So even though he didn't perform all that well in the warm-up match, he's proven over the past few months that, in English conditions, he can bowl well and take wickets, right? So with that in mind, why I would pick a Jaden Seals over Jeremiah Louis for this, at least the first test match, right? No, so that puts the bowling lineup for me at, so that's three pacers and Gudakesh Moti as the only spinner so far. Now, when it comes to choosing between a Jason Holder or a Jeremiah Louis, Jason Holder gets the edge for me because not mainly for his bowling, but his experience plays a part, right? And what he's able to do with the bat, right? And I actually think Jason Holder in this team, I think Jason Holder will bat at a number 6 in this team, right? If you look at the team that toured Australia, and who Jason Holder possibly replaced in that team. So he replaced Justin Greaves in that team, right? And Greaves batted at number 6 in that Australia series. So he was an all-rounder as well, right? He batted at number 6 and he was able to bowl a few overs as well. Jason Holder is a much more experienced bowler than him and has taken more wickets than him as well. And Jason Holder's ability with the bat, I think he will have a much bigger role to play in this team with the bat, right? So I am anticipating that the team will bat Jason Holder at number 6, and his bowling will come in handy for the team as well. So those are the 4 pace bowlers that I would go with in the team along with Gudakesh Moti. So it's a Shamar Joseph, Alzarri Joseph, Jaden Seals, Jason Holder, and Gudakesh Moti. Those would be my 5 main bowlers for this first test match, or the first few test matches, depending on how they bowl. Again, Jason Holder getting the nod over Jeremiah Louis, because he of what he can, and I'm sure he will be expected to provide the team with the bat as well, right? Coming into that, taking that spot from Justin Greaves, right? That all rounder spot, Jason Holder is that all rounder in the team. So it's with that in mind why I would pick Jason Holder. Now, Kevin Sinclair, a lot of us have spoken about Kevin Sinclair and his batting ability as well. And So, but he didn't perform well with the bat in that warm-up match. He scored runs in the West Indies Championship. He scored a half century in Australia, so we know he's capable with the bat. But based on his performances with the bat and the ball in the first match, I would Jason Holder gets that all-rounder spot for me, right? Again, but this is just my opinion, right? I have no affiliation with West Indies cricket. I am just sharing my opinion on what I would do. So you have the opportunity as well to share in the comment section, which of these players you would pick as the all-rounder. Would you go with a Kevin Sinclair or a Jason Holder? Personally, I am going with Jason Holder because he has the experience, right? He has performed well against England numerous times. His double century was scored against England. He's taken 5 wicket hauls against England. So he has a good track record against England. That's Jason Holder. So it's with that in mind why I would pick Jason Holder. And English conditions, I am expecting it to provide some assistance to the fast bowlers as well. And Jason Holder, with his experience, I think he'll be able to exploit that assistance that he gets from English conditions and possibly take a few wickets in this match as well, right? So those are the 5 main bowlers I would go with for the first test match, or at least the first few test matches, depending on how well they do in the first match, right? So again, it's Shamar Joseph, Alzarri Joseph, Jaden Seals, Jason Holder, and Gudakesh Moti. Those would be my bowlers for this first test match. Definitely share in the comment section if you agree with that bowling lineup, and if not, which bowlers you would select for your team in the first test match, or at least the first few test matches. As always, that's all I have for you in this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. Do remember to like the video, leave a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.